Hello, my name is Jessica Maloney, and I will be doing a case analysis on NASCAR and proposing how they can earn their way back into the spotlight. So, to quickly go over my agenda, I will first give an overview of the case, then introduce my position statement, then I will go over the three major causes of the problem that I analyzed, and then I will give my action plan of short and long-term recommendations for the future success of NASCAR. Before NASCAR, the sport of setting faster and faster land speed records was very popular during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. NASCAR, founded in 1947 by William Henry Getty France, was the first to organize the legitimacy of the sport. He organized races, built tracks, lined up sponsors, and eventually became the second most popular televised sport, with 12 million fans watching the Daytona 500 each year. As American ideologies changed, though, NASCAR and its fan base struggled to keep up. Leadership wanted to change with the times, but the steady decline of audience and viewership prevented them from taking large measures to do so, in fear of losing the current fan base they already had. As a sport is historically rooted in Southern conservative culture, the Confederate flag that fans brought with them to races became a controversial topic in the media. NASCAR's leadership has struggled to keep up with the times because they don't know what the brand's identity is in modern America, making it even harder for them to earn their way back into the spotlight. My position statement for the case is, NASCAR has struggled to transition the organization into modern-day expectations and ideologies. Because of their inability to change with the times, NASCAR has lost their place as one of the most popular sports in the United States. This is due to their inability to effectively diversify the internal organization and audience, controversy over the Confederate flag, and steady decline in audience and viewership. Since NASCAR's beginning in 1947, at the height of the Civil Rights Movement, it has had a predominantly wealthy, white, conservative fan base. As America moved into the modern era of equality, NASCAR and its fan base fell behind, despite leadership's attempts, and have been struggling to transition its internal organization and audience into this new era ever since. Leadership's failure to diversify the organization and show the world its position is one of the main reasons NASCAR has lost its popularity in the United States. As mentioned, NASCAR's fan base was 91% Caucasian, 38% greater Republican leaning than fans of other sports, and have an average household income of $70,000. An example of NASCAR's attempts to diversify was through a program called Drive for Diversity campaign, started in 2004. The program accepts 6 to 10 minority drivers to be trained each year, with 3 drivers from the program competing in the top series in 2018. But only 3 drivers from the program making it to the top races in 14 years does not signify success or diversity to the nation. In 2015, ESPN released an article explaining how the program is barely more than cosmetic, overhyped, and underfunded. It is limited to developmental levels, leaving drivers stalled far short of the big time. Additionally, to the majorly unsuccessful program, previous president Mike Helton released a statement saying NASCAR is keeping its roots intact, after backlash from saying they wanted to move away from their old southeastern redneck heritage. The unsuccessful program and leadership's failure to take a firm stance on diversity to the public has been detrimental to their brand equity. NASCAR waited too long to become a diverse and inclusive sport, making it even harder on themselves to do so in the current social climate of the United States. This has alienated current and potential fans who do not want to support an organization that has not kept up with the times. Because of leadership's inability to diversify the internal organization and the audience, NASCAR has lost its popularity in the United States. Another predominant cause of NASCAR's fall from popularity is the controversy of the Confederate flag. To many today, the Confederate flag is a symbol of racism and the dark history of slavery in this country. But it's also deeply rooted in Southern culture, who claim the flag is a symbol of Southern pride and a person who defies authority. NASCAR's fan base is by large pro-Confederate flag, and many carry it with them to races as well as on their clothes, souvenirs, etc. This type of environment does not display inclusivity, equality, and an inviting environment to potential fans. NASCAR's leadership has made a statement about not supporting the flag and offered to replace the ones brought to races with the American flag for free, but have been hesitant to take greater action to not alienate its current dwindling fan base. Bubba Wallace, one of the most famous black NASCAR drivers, spoke out in 2020 urging the organization to ban the flag, and they did just that. Before 2020, though, NASCAR was telling the world their support for diversity but showing the world something else. While banning the flag was a step in the right direction, they waited too long, which alienated their current fans while not attracting new ones because races were not open to fans due to the pandemic. The brand's identity is rooted in values such as what the Confederate flag represents, which have long since left the hearts and minds of modern American citizens. By allowing the increasingly polarizing flag to be displayed as an unofficial symbol of the sport until 2020 has negatively affected the image of the sport, causing its fall from popularity over the past decade. The final main cause of NASCAR's fall from popularity is their steady decline in audience and viewership, with unsuccessful attempts at recovery. According to the case, the height of audience attendance peaked in 2005, but from then, both in-person and online attendance had declined by 50%. More specifically, average TV viewership fell from 5.2 million in 2014 to just under 3 million in 2019. That means in just 5 years, they lost a viewership of 2.2 million people. During the pandemic, NASCAR was the only organization to complete a full season, which was thought to potentially boost statistics. But even though everyone was sitting at home watching TV, the Cup Series finale had a 1.9 rating and only 3.06 million viewers, marking it the lowest rated and least watched Cup Series finale on record. The large drop in attendance and viewership over the past 17 years without successful efforts from leadership to combat this has caused the sport to fall from one of the most popular sports in America. NASCAR's objective is to develop positive brand equity, awareness, and therefore popularity in the eyes of the nation. Currently, NASCAR does not understand who their target market is, nor has developed a strong, well-rounded brand identity to do so. They make decisions that are contradictory, upsetting current fans while not attracting new ones. In order for NASCAR to become one of the most popular sports in America again, they must start internally. All communication channels should be directed towards your target audience, so understanding who that is the first step. Currently, it seems NASCAR is trying to make everyone happy, which in turn is making no one happy. Their target market cannot be everyone. Historically, the sport of racing has had the highest percentage of women fans at 38%. Additionally, the age of average fans is increasing from 48 years old in 2006 to 58 in 2016. Because the organization wants to change with the times, has a rapidly aging fan base, and has already banned the Confederate flag, I recommend NASCAR should be focused on attracting a younger target market, 18 to 34 years old, which had the highest percentage of the opinion that Confederate flags should be prohibited during NASCAR events. Leadership also needs to sit down to outline their values, diversity and inclusion training, future goals, and overall brand identity that speaks to the target audience to be distributed to the entire company. If any level of employee does not comply with these standards, they should be replaced. Ensuring all levels of employees understand the organization and where the organization plans to go allows them to make decisions that are in alliance with such. After understanding their brand identity and who their target market is, all action should be geared towards them. A marketing strategy to build greater awareness and a positive image should be put into place. To tap into younger, more diverse markets, possible strategies could be collaboration with influencers, diversifying sponsors, or hosting events that continue to show support for the minority community, such as a Juneteenth celebration. All of these possible strategies are to increase brand awareness and equity in people's minds, which in time will give NASCAR a greater competitive advantage over the marketplace. That concludes my presentation. Thank you so much for listening.